Hi there, Sandra here from Create in Spain. I am doing a card video, but I wanted to share this little craft hack with you in case you hadn't thought about it. As you know, my mind works in mysterious ways. So anyway, I decided I wanted a stitched border, but I don't have a stitched border die for this kind of size. I've got a few, but they're a bit smaller. And to be honest, I'm not overly fussed on metal dies. I really find them a bit too much hassle, but that's just me. But sometimes you want to do a design with a stitched border where you don't have the appropriate sized metal die, or perhaps you don't have an embossing machine to use with them anyway. So I have found a workaround. And it's really, really simple. Now, on this one, this piece of paper, you couldn't see the rectangles. On this one, you can. They look like proper stitched rectangles. All I did was I put a piece of thin craft foam on my mat underneath my paper. And when I created the file, I just created it in dashed lines. So this is a really simple thing to do. All you do is you put that to your machine. If you are not using a DX machine, then you want to adjust your blade so that it's supposed to be for a slightly thicker material than the card that you want to cut, obviously. But with a DX machine, it goes onto the mat, it goes on here, it says, oh, right, that's thicker, so I need to press more or put more blade out, whatever it does to itself. And then it does just the normal cuts. But because you've got the foam underneath, the blade sinks into the foam and it makes decent holes. Yippity-doo-dah, great stuff. Now, the only thing that you might want to do aside from that is you might possibly want to cut around the outside. Now, if it's just a rectangle and you're not fussed, you can do it with a paper trimmer or whatever. But if you want to do it on the machine, again, it's very, very easy. When you set this on your cutting mat, what you want to do is to put it so that the paper is slightly over the edge of the foam, and you just want to tape it in place so that when you've done that bit of cutting, you can remove your foam and then you can do your outside line. So easy peasy. The only thing you have to remember is that you obviously want to delete your outside line first of all, or not send it to the machine, or however it is that you do it with your particular machine. But as long as you do that, not a problem, you end up with a stitched rectangle or whatever shape. And I've got one in a slightly stiffer card and it's come out like that. It's perfectly fine, and you can even see on the back of it, it even looks like it's been done with a metal die. Okay, so I've got my card base and I have my layer, so that's going to go on top of there. And I'm just thinking I might just put a little bit of colour around the outside of my white stitched layer, just to add a little bit of oomph to it. I've put my front panel on, and I also put a strip of a patterned paper that I made just across the bottom there. And I have here a sentiment, have a birthday boogie. So this one is going to go over there. And the other one I have are some monsters that I've got cut out. So I found these monsters on Pixabay, and I did actually edit them a little bit to add spots and things, change the colours slightly, but you can find an awful lot of really good images on Pixabay and they're all free, so it's a very good source of artwork if you want to speed things up a little bit. Now, I would say that although I cut these out with the Brothers Scan and Cut, it wasn't straightforward. I ended up putting the design into my iPad to create a version like that, which I scanned, and then I put the patterned piece underneath in order to get a clean cut. There were too many bits in it for me to do it with either a coloured scan or a black and white scan. And because I wanted this bit cut out, it was just a pain in the neck without doing that. So that's how I chose to do it. So I've got here some fluorescent pens, not something I would normally be using, but because this is sort of like monsters and stuff, I thought it would be a fun idea to actually use some of these and to do a little bit of drawing on things like the teeth. And I have some googly eyes as well. Now unfortunately I don't have large googly eyes, I have some small ones. Normally I would want a really big googly eye for this guy, but I just haven't got any. So it's a case of use what I've got. A little bit of glue on the back of here. If you're going to use glue, try and make sure you use one that isn't too liquidy, because you don't want your card being ruined with a lot of liquid. So my sentiment's going over there. My DJ monster, I want to go just above the sentiment bubble. So that's not looking bad. It also happens to have some blue little gems. And there we have it, all done. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.